Auburn is such a family place and the people are perfect, but also the game days atmosphere is insane. I've been to other football games, but I can't compare it to any other place. It is just unreal.
Hey everybody, welcome to the latest edition of the Dime Discussion. You are in for a treat because I have with me a wonderful guest in Cece Springfield out of Georgia. She went to Whitfield Academy, played for Georgia Impact, and she is an Auburn softball commit. So Cece, thank you for joining us on the show. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing fantastic, doing fantastic. So again, thank you so much. We just want to use this opportunity here to share your story and to give people an opportunity to get to know a little bit more about CC, but also to be inspired by it, just as people like myself and others have been. So we're going to jump right into the Auburn commitment part of things. So I guess first of all, before we get too deep in to maybe all the details about Auburn. Tell us why. Why was Auburn the final selection for you, and maybe even share the other options that you had out there on the table.
Um, Auburn was it for me. I grew up going to Auburn. Both my parents played there, so I've always been down there. Went to all the football games. I had other visits set up, went to other places first. Honestly, didn't have interest in Auburn until the coaching change in June before recruiting process. So everything just kind of fell into place for me. And then the second day on my visit, when we were doing like the photo shoots and stuff, I just like knew that it was it for me. Like Coach Chris and Coach Kate and everyone was just so welcoming and like it felt like home.
Wow. So talk walk us through that at least again. I guess that day of doing the photo shoot, and what does a day like that look like? Maybe for somebody who is getting the opportunity, hopefully in the future, to visit some higher level programs like Auburn. What does that whole day look like? Share that with us.
So we did the video shoot on the day of the football game. So we woke up, went to do the video shoot in the basketball arena, did that, and then we had our meetings with our coaches like per family. I had already kind of known before that I was going to commit, but I waited and we went to the football game, did all the pregame stuff, watched all the cool band do their thing. Then we went to the field, on the field before the game, and that's where I committed on the field with my coaches in a picture. It was really cute and special. And then we went to the game and that like it was just perfect.
Very nice. So I know that your family went to Auburn, right? Your mom and dad. So did
Yes.
they play sports there?
Yes, my dad played basketball, my mom plays softball. So
Man, following in the footsteps. That's
yeah.
fantastic. So I guess, all right, so you said you knew obviously the coaching change kind of helped that a little bit, but prior to that, you weren't really feeling Auburn, I guess, that much. Were there other places that, overall that you were looking at, earlier on in your recruitment process?
Yes, Oklahoma State was also one of my favorite schools. Visited them a lot. Had a really good connection with those coaches, talked all the time. Another girl on my team ended up going there, so that's really cool for her. I love that place, like good people, but Auburn
Sure.
just felt like home.
It felt like home, absolutely. And obviously, it's not far away, right? You're
No,
right here in Georgia. Went to Whitfield Academy. You went to Whitfield Academy all through school, right?
uh, fifth through senior year, so 8 years. So I've been there for a long time.
Very long time. Okay, that's good stuff. So, senior year, right? It's almost halfway done for the good and the bad of that, right? We'll get into a little bit about just the memories there at Whitfield Academy specifically. But as far as the recruiting process, right? It can be an incredibly exciting process for everybody, but also stressful at times. I would say, as a former coach, softball coach, helping many people navigate that process. It's something that you want to make sure that it is delicate. It can be delicate for certain people, but for you, I guess, what was maybe the hardest part of the journey for you? Maybe what advice would you give somebody that's about to go through that pretty soon?
I would say the hardest part for me is just like having to tell coaches no at the end, not like just because of the connections you make throughout the way. Like you get so close, you talk all the time, you go to the camps over and over and over again, and you get close, and then having to tell them no is just like obviously Auburn was the place for me, but telling another person no just it's hard and it's not easy, and their reactions aren't always easy either, and it's hard, but I would tell someone to like enjoy it. It's the coolest experience ever. Like you'll never get to do that in your life again. So
Certainly.
enjoy every good, every bad. It's so much fun. So,
I think that can be a huge lesson learned right there as you enter adulthood, right? Of like being able to just pull the trigger and make that
yeah.
tough call. Now, for those who maybe aren't familiar with the process, when you are having to maybe give that Oklahoma State coach a call, is that a call? Is that an email? Is that a text? What does that look like typically when you're having to turn them down?
I called all the schools that I said no to, I called them. Just I felt like that was the right thing to do, especially the schools I
Absolutely.
was had gone to more camps for. I
Mhm.
just felt like calling. Obviously, couldn't go see them because they're far away, but giving them a call so they know, like, hey, I do care about your program and I'm thankful for everything you've done. But I just had to go the route I had to go and do what's right for me. So,
Right. Absolutely. So with that recruitment process, obviously there comes, other things come with that, right? I mean, part of the recruitment process is just understanding like the education side of things has to be
yeah,
a great fit. So what are you going to study there at Auburn?
I'm going to study nursing, and Auburn has a great nursing program. So that also helped me make my decision.
Perfect.
So,
Very nice. Okay, so for those that I mean, everybody talks about the medical field being, what it is and how
yeah.
tough that can be. Being a student athlete and studying nursing and anything in the medical field. So, have you received any advice from others about how to manage that? Any thoughts on that so far yet?
My cousin was actually he played football and he was in med school, so that's kind of a close connection that I can kind of talk to him about it. It's not
Yeah.
going to be easy and I know that. It's going to be hard, but I really love it and I really want to do it. So,
And it sounds like you're ready for the challenge, though, right? I
yeah.
mean, that's pretty evident. There's a lot that comes with, playing collegiate softball, especially at the Division I level, and there's a lot that goes into the nursing program as well. But I mean, you're going to come out on the other end of it a lot stronger than you
Yes.
are today, which is great, right? It's gonna
Yes.
build you up, and you're gonna be ready. So talk us through today, though. There's obviously you're going to have to manage and balance student athletes, that lifestyle there at Auburn to come, but even as a high schooler, right, it can be tough to manage a social life, being able to keep up with your studies, be a student athlete as well, maybe being involved in other clubs and organizations and things like that. So I guess my question right now is how have you managed that and been able to navigate that process so far as a busy senior?
It's hard, it really is, and it hasn't always been easy. I've had to learn that, like, I'm gonna miss things and can't do anything about it. That's part of it, and I have to be okay with it. And honestly, like, I have missed really fun opportunities, but I find myself having more fun in the moment doing something else softball related. And it's just it makes me super grateful that I have all these opportunities, and it's a really good learning lesson because you're not always gonna get what you want.
Sure. I 100% agree with that, and that's, as coaching softball players over the years, I recognize, you're having to turn down, sleepovers, you're having to turn
Yeah.
down, spring break trips, you're turning down a lot of good, what I would call good stuff, right?
Yeah.
And it's, you're sacrificing, 'cause everything you sacrifice isn't bad, right? Those are
Yeah.
good things. And so because you're having to do that, it really puts in perspective what this game and the sport and this opportunity that you have truly means to you. If you're willing to sacrifice all of those other things, then that means that this is the top priority for you, which is a big
Yeah.
deal, right? So what would be one thing or one habit at least that you have, or maybe even a routine that you've had to kind of help you stay grounded, with having to balance everything that you're doing right now?
This is gonna sound silly, and it's not really a habit or a routine, but I'm like a big picture taker, TikToker kind of
Okay.
thing. So just like looking back on those pictures and TikToks that I made while I'm on a trip, knowing I'm missing something else, like looking back and realizing like, look how much fun I'm having. It just like reminds me that like it's okay and like I'm gonna miss it, but I'm probably having fun doing whatever I'm doing anyways. So that
Yeah.
helps me.
I it really made me think about something when you said that the trips and all that, because I think the memories are so worth it, right? When you're able to look back at a picture or a TikTok or a video that you
Yeah.
created, and you know that you were living in the moment when you were
Mhm.
there, like that makes it all worth it, right?
That's the best
When you're
part.
present, yeah, you're where your feet are, you're present, and it makes everything that much better. So speaking of trips, you played for Georgia Impact. I know you spent some time with the Vipers, part of that, right?
Yes.
Um, so those are, nationally, renowned programs, I would say, organization-wise. So if you had to say, man, what's one, maybe even two of your favorite trips that you took with Georgia Impact or just travel ball in general throughout your career, what would you say?
Definitely California, obviously, that's the biggest trip of the year. Everyone loves that one. I would say everyone kind of knows what that's like, but for my team in Georgia Impact, we go to Jupiter first week of June every year. Our coach takes us to the beach. We practice every day, and then we get to go on the beach, on a boat, have fun, hang out, bond. That's really special to us. We do it, it's a thing that we do every year. And I'd say that that's the most fun we have all summers, that trip.
That's amazing. So you're not down there playing games. You're practicing and just having us time, basically.
Yes,
That's that's worth it.
it
100% worth it.
is.
I love that. So again, you spent a lot of time with Georgia Impact. You got to know those players and just those coaches and whatnot. So maybe what's one thing that you can take away from your time with Georgia Impact that you'll always carry with you forever?
The hard work is gonna pay off. It really is. And in the moment, it probably sounds like the most miserable thing ever, but you're gonna get rewarded for it and you'll make great memories. And those girls are gonna be in my wedding one day. Those are my best friends. So
Mm. I love that for you, and I love that for your teammates because that's a special thing
it
for
is.
you to voice that out loud, and that's in your heart, and you feel that way. So, as far as Whitfield Academy, you spent 8 years there. That's a lot of time to be in one place, and so best memories, and what are you going to take away from Whitfield Academy?
I'd say it's a really small school. Everyone knows everybody, everyone knows everything. But one thing that's really stuck with me is the senior freshman retreat that we have at the beginning of the year, which I did this year because I'm a senior. And it was special because my grade is really, really close. We love each other, but my sister is also a freshman, so that was special getting to go on a trip with her and just like grow as a person with the Lord, with my sister. It was cool.
Man, that's awesome. So, I was actually just about to ask you about some personal growth stuff. So you mentioned, your sister, does she play softball?
She plays soccer.
Okay, very cool. So how is it having a family of just athletes? I mean, my gosh, that's amazing.
It's cool. It's we're never together. We're always somewhere doing something. Honestly, I'd say that my sister inspires me. She is so good at what she does. She works
Mm.
hard, and it's really cool to watch her succeed. And she's gonna be really good at what she does.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I bet she could say the same about you, right? But with that, is everybody overly competitive, or like what does that look like as
Very,
far as like a family dynamic?
very. It's games don't go well. Everyone wants to win, but we make it work.
Absolutely. Okay, fair enough. So Talk to us about your faith a little bit. You mentioned the Lord, you want to grow in your faith. That's something that sounds like it means something to you. So, what does that look like for you, and how has that guided your path thus far?
I've grown up in a Christian household my whole life, gone to a Christian school my whole life. So I've grown a lot. It's, I mean, I get preached the Lord every day at school. I take Bible class every day. But I'd honestly say that going to church with my friends has helped me the most because going to school every day, you can kind of drown it out and like, oh, got to go to Bible class. But like getting to do it with my friends and sit down and talk about the Lord is the coolest thing ever. And like everyone has such a different story. And that's helped me like during the recruiting process, especially like the person next to me isn't going to have the same story as I'm going to have. They're not going to have the same recruiting process as me, but they're going to end up where they want to be too. So like it's just been cool and like knowing that he has everything like in his plan for me takes a lot of stress away.
Amen to that, absolutely. And so, for you, back on, I guess, on the softball side of things, and talking about I guess for the lack of a better term, the stress that comes with playing the game and competing at a high level. Um, what about your faith and the wisdom that you've learned thus far has carried you maybe even on the diamond into the softball arena?
I'd say like the slumps or the hard times, like yes, it's I'm a competitor. It makes me so mad. It sucks, whatever. Failure is the biggest part of this game. I signed up for a game of failure. I know that. And like knowing that this is just a part of it and like he's doing
Yeah,
this for me to learn something bigger is really cool. Obviously, I'm not thinking that in the box. I'm like so mad and whatever, but like taking a step back and realizing like there's something bigger going to come out of this is just like such a good reminder for me.
absolutely. I agree. Now, I guess speaking of being in the box, literally, um, advice maybe for those that are obviously looking to be in your shoes one day. Um, how do you make those adjustments mentally in the midst of a game, maybe where you are, we're 0 for 4, and now you're standing in the box again, expected to come up and produce and do what the coaching staff is asking of you.
I would say trust what you've done, all the work you've put in. You wouldn't be in this position if they didn't trust you, if your team didn't trust you. I would honestly say like you have to believe in the work that you've put in. Like, everyone's gonna have a bad day, but just make the adjustment. For me, I'd say make the adjustment more dramatic than you think because you think you're gonna do something and maybe it doesn't work. So try it again, but make it even bigger. Swing two balls above the ball instead of one. But at the end of the day, you just have to trust that you've put the work in and it's gonna come.
I love that though. You're probably the first person I've heard say exaggerate the adjustment and but it's a meaningful exaggeration though, because I think
Yeah.
sometimes we're like, oh, it's a small adjustment, right? But sometimes that may mean different, that may come across differently for
Yep.
everybody. So sometimes at the end of the day, maybe you just overcorrect on purpose so that
Yeah.
you can really make sure you're dialing it in there. That's awesome. I like that. So I guess for those who haven't seen you play yet, which you're about to be on a national stage at the collegiate level. So a lot of folks who haven't seen CC are going to know who you are. But how would you describe your playing style to somebody who has no idea how to move on the diamond?
I would say that I'm a competitor. I want to win every game. I'm gritty. I want to be put in the stressful situations where your stomach's twirling in the box. That's me. I want to be in that situation.
There we go.
I'm going to give you 110% every time. Every swing and miss is 110%, and you can tell. And I want to win so bad.
I love that. I love that. Now, obviously, that's what Auburn's looking for. But beyond the competitive fervor that you bring to the table, what else do you feel like you have to offer the Auburn program and just, being able to add to the legacy that is Auburn?
I I think I'm bubbly, like super outgoing, and I think Coach Chris and Coach Kate have done such a good job with this program, and they bring the energy, but they bring the competition, and like I'm so excited to be there.
I gotta say, I loved watching them last season. They are that group and the way that Coach Chris and that group have been able to, you know, put this team together in such a short amount of time, I would say, and be successful. I think you're going to be in great hands, and obviously, they're getting somebody who is going to come in and fit right into the type of program that they're looking to build, right? So last couple of questions or two. There are things off the field, right, that come with being in college and being in this stage of life. So maybe what's one thing that you're looking most forward to and really excited about as it pertains to heading off and being in a different city?
I'd say the people, Auburn is a family place. They love everybody. Like, I just love, like, Auburn is such a family place and the people are perfect. But also, the game days atmosphere is insane. I've been to other football games, but I can't compare it to any other place. It is just unreal.
Jordan Air is a unique location to
It
play
is.
some football, and I have pity for every opponent that comes in there, whether Auburn is having a great season or not.
Yeah,
It's a tough place to play football,
it
so
is.
I agree for sure on that front. So, as you wrap up your high school career, what impact do you hope you've left on your teammates and your peers in general?
I'd say just like determination and just drive. Obviously, over 4 years, our high school program grew in a tremendous way. We went from not even making playoffs to going to the Elite Eight my senior year in 4 years, which is just crazy. The whole
Mm,
story is crazy, but just to the younger girls, like it's possible. Like it really is. And if you care enough and work hard enough, it's going to happen. So just like keep going. I promise it will happen if you want it so bad.
mm, I love that. So, one word. One word of advice to leave the next group of players that come through Whitfield Academy. What you got?
Drive.
Mm, feel you. Okay. Fair enough. Well, do you have anything else for us today? This is the end of our questions. So anything else you got?
War Eagle.
I love it. Love it. War Eagle all day. Listen, CC, we are so incredibly happy for you. We're proud of you. There are people who um, aspire to do what you're doing, right? And people say there's a little bit of luck involved, and there is. There's a lot of faith involved in the journey you're about to embark on. There's a lot of skill. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of ingredients that go into what you're pulling off, right? And so my hope and my prayer for you is that you will inspire other people to be great and that ultimately people look to Cece as a woman of God, but also somebody that they can maybe pattern their life after in terms of how they walk and how they move through the game of softball. So, anyway, guys, we're going to wrap this show up like we always do. Please let every single thing you do be done in love, because at the end of the day, it's truly what makes us go around. Cece, thank you again. And guys,
Thank you.
we'll catch you next time.